Good evening, it's Saturday the 20th of December. You're tuned in to our late night newscast coming to you from Arirang's news centre in Seoul. Thanks for joining us. I'm Mark Broome. Our top story tonight, the FBI has formally blamed North Korea for the recent cyber attack on Sony Pictures. North Korea denies responsibility but threatened to retaliate against any attempts to insult its leader Kim Jong-un. Hwang Sung-hee starts us off.
North Korea is denying any involvement in the hacking of Sony Pictures, which had forced the movie maker to cancel the release of the movie The Interview. The state-run Korean Central News Agency said Saturday that the United States is making groundless claims against it. Pyongyang also suggested a joint investigation into the case. The FBI said Friday it had enough information to conclude the North Korean government was responsible for the cyber attack. Its conclusion is based on similarities between past cyber attacks by North Korea and a technical analysis of the data deletion malware that revealed links to other malware previously developed by the North. President Barack Obama vowed to retaliate.
They caused a lot of damage, and we will respond. We will respond proportionally, and we'll respond in a place and time and manner that we choose.
In a year-end press conference, President Obama said Sony Pictures made a mistake in shelving The Interview, a comedy film about an assassination plot on North Korean leader Kim Jong-un that was set to hit the screens on Christmas Day. Following threats of additional attacks, major movie theater chains backed out from showing the film, prompting Sony to cancel its release. Sony CEO Michael Linton told CNN's Fareed Zakaria GPS that his studio was still looking for alternative ways to show the movie, but it had not found one willing distributor.
There has not been one major VOD, video on demand distributor, one major e-commerce site that has stepped forward and said they are willing to distribute this movie for us.
Back in North Korea, the state warned of retaliation against any attempts to insult its leader. It said it does not intend to launch a terror attack against innocent moviegoers, but those responsible for the hostilities. Hwang Sung-hee, Arirang News.
South Korea has slammed North Korea's hacking of Sony Pictures, calling it a crime that has inflicted significant harm on a US business and the public. In a statement released on Saturday, Seoul's foreign ministry said North Korea's actions have caused serious damage to cybersecurity. It also said it's paying close attention to the similarities between the hacking of Sony Pictures and the cyber attack on South Korean financial institutions in March last year. The statement said the South Korean government will continue to work with the United States by sharing information related to the cyber attacks and bolstering countermeasures against similar threats. President Park Geun-hye has been invited to Russia for the 70th anniversary of its victory over Germany in World War II. A source told Yonhap news agency that the government is going to check the president's schedule for next year, but it hasn't decided yet if she will attend the ceremony or not. Moscow also sent North Korean leader Kim Jong-un an invitation. Russia commemorates the Victory Day on May 9th every year to mark its victory in 1945 over Nazi Germany. Moscow has sent invitations to dozens of world leaders, including Kim Jong-un, who hasn't actually visited a foreign country since he took power in 2011. At the 60th Victory Day celebration in 2005, then South Korean President Roh Moo-hyun attended the ceremony with more than 50 world leaders, including George W. Bush and Hu Jintao. Current US President Barack Obama has ordered a trade ban with Crimea in a bid to show Washington will not accept Russia's occupation of the Ukrainian region. The executive order imposes a ban on the export of goods, technology and services to Crimea. There will also be new sanctions on certain Russian and Ukrainian individuals and companies. European Union sanctions imposing tighter restrictions on European investment in Crimea and targeting Russian oil and gas exploration also came into effect on Saturday. And staying in that region, and Standard & Poor's has slashed Ukraine's credit rating, saying a default may be inevitable since financial support from the IMF has been slow and the country's foreign currency reserves are being eaten away pretty quickly. The credit rating agency cut the country's long-term sovereign credit rating from CCC to CCC-. That's the lowest possible score before failure to pay. S&P says a default could become inevitable in the next few months if circumstances do not change. The IMF estimates that Ukraine will need an additional $15 billion after the IMF's $27 billion package. Kiev has only received $4.6 billion so far. Ukraine's foreign reserves dropped below $10 billion last month. Now, the mother of most of the 8 children found dead in a mass stabbing in Australia's northern city of Cairns has been arrested on suspicion of murder. Queensland police say the 37-year-old woman, who was hospitalised on Friday with stab wounds, was lucid and awake and talking to officers. An officer said the woman was the mother of 7 of the 8 deceased children, aged 18 months to 15 years old. The 8th child was her niece. Now, in a statement, Australian Prime Minister Tony Abbott said it was an unspeakable crime. The deaths come a matter of days after the siege of a cafe in Sydney, which ended with the gunman and 2 hostages dead. UN Secretary-General Ban Ki-moon is in West Africa to show solidarity with countries battling Ebola, which has so far killed nearly 7,000 people. Speaking in Monrovia, where he praised Liberia for its efforts to combat this deadly disease, Ban said the UN's goal is to see the last case identified and cured. He added that the world's response strategy has been working, noting that people are gaining access to treatment, contacts are being traced much quicker, burials are becoming safer, and communities in general are mobilizing to protect themselves much, much better. 3 other countries struggling with Ebola, Sierra Leone, Guinea and Mali, are also on the UN chief's itinerary. Now, Korea is one of the few countries in the world that offers universal health insurance to its people, and it took just 12 years to provide it, get it all up and running. Now, Korea is sharing its expertise with African countries that are in need of a better health care system. Our Kim Min-ji reports.
This Ethiopian farmer has been suffering from diabetes for 6 years. He spent over $50 a month in visits to the doctor and buying medicine, equivalent to nearly half of his income.
I couldn't send my child to school, or else I couldn't get insulin injections.
But now he is one of the lucky few to get free medical treatment, as his town was included in a medical insurance pilot project that was recently implemented. Still, there is a lot to be done since the beneficiaries account for only 7% of Ethiopia's entire population. The nation's average life expectancy stands at just 59 years, with a mortality rate for children under the age of 5 at 9%. The Ethiopian government, seeking to change the healthcare sector, chose Korea as its role model.
You covered the whole population under insurance, social security, and the other thing is you achieved that within only 12 years. This is exceptional for Korea, because I know Germany took 130 years to reach.
Experts say the move is beneficial for both Korea and Ethiopia. Korea can upgrade the global status of its medical system while educating and training medical teams in Africa.
Korean health officials and technicians are sharing their knowledge with local medical teams. We believe that will affect their medical policy system in the long run without the need to invest much money.
Moreover, the move is expected to lead the adoption of a Korean computing and hospital construction system and medical devices, bringing along economic benefits in the near future. Kim Min-ji, Arirang News.
Now back here in Korea, and the best and brightest science minds in the country came together recently for a battle that pitted the products of their creative ideas against one another, from a 3D printer, a new type, to a flying, folding drone. Son Jong-in reports.
Printers are far from a novelty anymore, but this group of science enthusiasts added a new feature, a paintbrush in place of the printhead. After analyzing a picture, the brush dips its head into the right color and starts to draw the same sketch.
This was originally developed as a 3D printer, but later we incorporated the watercolor painting technology.
Another team used an innovative idea to create a transformer drone. Just by pressing a button, the drone folds in half, giving it increased mobility on land. Along the same lines is this smart drone that can recognize the voice of its operator. Science aficionados from all walks of life came together for the Science Makers Battle Korea competition in the city of Daejeon. Participants were asked to develop their own creations in one of 5 areas, such as games, the Internet of Things, or drones. The top prize went to a team for its idea recorder, which manages and saves users' thoughts in a mobile application.
It's hard at first, but once you get the hang of it, you can create anything you want.
A total of 300 teams nationwide participated in the competition, which was held for the first time in Korea. Son Jung-in, Arirang News.
And finally, leaving you with the weather here in Korea for the rest of the weekend, and it's going to be a bitterly cold night across the country, with the overnight low plunging to minus 11 degrees Celsius in Seoul, so wrap up if you're heading out tonight. Sunday is going to be crisp and clear across most of the nation, but temperatures will top out at just minus 2 degrees in the Korean capital. Now, for our viewers overseas, let's take a look at the weather conditions in your part of the world. Well, that's all we have for you at this hour. For more of the latest stories, don't forget to check out our website, which can be found by going to arirang.co.kr/news. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Goodbye.